On this episode of Rock Down South, we sit down with the country rock duo Lakeview. We talk all about how the band came together, their new single, and much, much more. We hope you all enjoy. Let's go.
Yo, what's up? It's Jesse.
This is Luke.
And we're Lakeview, and you're listening to Rock Down South.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Rock Down South, your home for rock and country music. Today, we had the pleasure of speaking with Jesse Denaro and Luke Healy of the band Lakeview. And they're a country rock duo that I was really excited to talk with. They have this killer sound where they add in big guitars and high energy to their country tunes. And they have a brand new banger of a single out called Son of a that I think everybody should go take a listen to. We talk about their signature sound, how the guys came together, and much, much more. So without further ado, here's the show. What's up, Luke? Jesse, how you guys doing today?
We're good, man. How are you?
It's good to talk to you, man.
Excellent. Thank you so much for jumping on, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys seem to be having a pretty good time right now. I think you got a brand new single out that you've just put out recently.
Yeah. We just put out Son of a probably 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks, something like that. So yeah, man, it's been going good.
Yeah, man, that song's catching on, man. I'm seeing you guys posting a lot about it. I'm liking that song. I think it might be one of your strongest ones yet. And yeah, man, I bet you guys are excited about putting that one out.
Yeah, it's been way overdue, man. That we actually wrote that song, I think, almost 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so we didn't really have the freedom to put that out in the timely manner that we wanted to. I mean, that would have come out well over last year, but we're newly off our label and we're independent. So as soon as we got in that position, we put that sucker out because we couldn't wait.
So you guys were a part of a label, and is that when you guys put out that 2021 Small Town Famous EP?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that EP. I gave it a listen, and you had some good songs on there. I think you had a couple of heavier ones on there, like Hits Different and Drink With My Friends.
Yeah, for sure.
Which were a little bit on the heavier side. Is it safe to say you guys are moving more so in that direction? Because I know you guys put out Loser, and what was the other one right after that? Want It Back.
Yeah. I think just as we are writing more and as we're playing more shows, we're kind of like figuring out what we really enjoy writing and playing live, especially. And it's definitely more of the rock influenced country stuff. So we've been doing a lot of that stuff, and our backgrounds are in that genre too. So yeah, it just kind of comes naturally to us as we're writing for the new, whether it's a full length or just new singles or whatever. They all seem to be leaning a little bit towards that rock side for sure.
So natural progression of the music. I like that. Yeah, and I really do like your sounds. Your sound is like one of those. So I'm a rock guy as well. I love country music as well, but I guess traditionally, you have like country that's always leaned a little bit on the rock side, but there's always a little bit more on the southern rock side. And every once in a while, I'll feel like you'll have an artist that'll dip into a little bit of those modern sounds, a little bit of those more distorted, heavier guitars, every once in a while. And, if they do, like a Brantley Gilbert, maybe he'll do it for a song or something like that. But I'm definitely glad to hear that sound coming from you guys. It's one of the things that kind of piques my interest a little bit about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's we're in the studio doing this stuff all ourselves. It's me, Jesse, and Jonathan Roach in the studio putting this stuff out. And, when we're in there, it's kind of one of those things where, like, we want it to be as big as possible all the time. Even if it is a feeler, like a slower song, we just still want a massive sound all the time. And like Jesse said, our background has been in rock. We've been doing it forever. We toured the country doing that for years and years and years. So there's nothing better to us than just a massive guitar all the time. If we can fit it somewhere, it's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it feels good, man. And it feels good in country music. And I'm glad that we're having more sounds like that coming out because I do think we're overdue for it. I've always liked that type of sound. People have dabbled in it for years, but it seems like you guys are leaning right into it, which is a real exciting time in music for at least what I like.
It means a lot that you like it, man.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. And so you guys mentioned a little bit about the past. So let's just jump in there. Where are you guys originally from, and how did this come together?
Yeah, I moved to Pittsburgh a while ago now, and met Luke there officially. But we crossed paths a bunch of times back in the day, going on tour and playing shows in our metal and rock bands. But when I moved to Pittsburgh, we ended up living together, and we were working together during the day and working together as bouncers at night, and we would listen to country radio and be like, this song is great, but we want to make it better. And that's kind of how it started. We just started writing these songs in our bedroom after work at like 2:00 in the morning, like half drunk. And yeah, it just kind of developed into what it is today, which is really cool to look back and see how it started and how far we've come and how much farther we have to go too.
That's awesome. And so you guys definitely went straight in there writing new material that had the country sound and the rock sound, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, even though like a lot of this stuff that you're hearing now, it's much, much heavier and a lot more progressed towards the rock sound of what we've had put out in the past. But these songs, like we've been writing the heavier country rock songs the whole entire existence of our band. In fact, we always end up writing stuff and then going in the studio being like, all right, that's probably a little over the top.
Yeah.
So we try to pull it back a little bit, but we've never been ones to be like, hey, let's play 50 covers or anything like that. We're just songwriters. We've always been songwriters. And since the first time me and Jesse ever wrote together, it was kind of like, yo, this is really good, I think. But your friends are always like, oh, yeah, we love it. We love it. It's so good. It's hard to get an honest answer. But once some other folks heard it, especially some folks in Nashville, we were still in Pittsburgh at the time. We had a really accomplished writer here hit us up and was like, yo, let's get you on a phone call and figure out what the heck this is going to be. Are you guys trying to be writers? Are you trying to be artists? Because this stuff is great. And you should, if anything, move down here and be writers. So we ended up setting a date to go move to Nashville. Well, we were super drunk, of course. And we're like, yeah, just drop everything. We Jesse was working on Capitol Hill at the time, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually just did my application to join the police academy. And we were like, you know what? Screw it. Worst comes to worst, we could always just do that stuff down there, I guess. But 1 week before we already had set in our calendar to move on our own accord, we end up getting a record deal offer.
Nice. And the reason why I was asking about the original tunes is I definitely like that approach. It's refreshing. I guess in a time that we're seeing a whole lot of people release cover songs, which I like cover songs, don't get me wrong, but I guess it would be really easy for, a group like you to just start releasing rock covers all day long on YouTube to try to start things out. But I definitely like you guys jumping straight into the writing thing and leaning in there, and not necessarily just, be those guys who released rock versions of country songs or made them a little heavier.
Yeah. I think it's a slippery slope when you do covers, because people will just start to really enjoy the cover and then they won't really care about your original music at all. So I think we were always like really, really cognizant of that. And, we've only ever written our own music in whatever project we were doing. So we don't really know any other way to do it. So yeah, we just started writing these songs and now fast forward, now we're here.
And how long you been in Nashville now?
Like 3 years or so, a little over 3 years.
Nice. And so what's the story that I read in your bio that you guys had like something in common? I think it might have been a girl or a girlfriend.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to ask about that. No, I mean, I moved to Pittsburgh for a girl, and unbeknownst to me, it was Luke's high school girlfriend. And then when we broke up, me and Luke moved in together. So it's just hilarious how that all works out and how where we are today.
God's got a plan.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you guys might have had a couple of things in common in terms of maybe your interest or whatnot, but that's a cool story. You don't hear that every day.
Sure. Yeah, no.
So what do you guys traditionally like to listen to when you're not making music? Just traditionally, as in like some of your favorites, and then what are you guys listening to lately?
Oh man, that's a real tough question to ask someone like me. Personally, I don't know, Jesse, you want to take that because I'm all over the damn joint.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we're not writing, me personally, I listen to a ton of rap. I just love rap music so much, like hip hop, kind of like J. Cole, kind of like lyrical hip hop, and then obviously listen to a ton of rock. Like all the new Nickelback stuff is really, really, really awesome to see how they're still putting out bangers. And
Oh yeah.
we're friends with some of the dudes in Wage War and Memphis, so listen to their stuff because their stuff is absolutely amazing. And yeah, I mean, it's just kind of all over the board for me, for sure.
Yeah, for me, it's more like a song by song. It's so rare for me anymore to be able to throw on an album and be like, I'm just going to listen to, I won't mention any artist names. Like, I'm going to listen to this whole album and I'm going to love the whole album. And it just like doesn't really happen for me like that anymore. I really wish it would happen more. And rock, it still does. Like a lot of rock bands are still putting out, I think, complete bodies of work that I'm like, yeah, I want to listen to this whole thing. But for me, it's, jumping around just like rap, or it's like, man, I'm just thinking of this old song and Don Williams comes on. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to listen to Don Williams for a long time because I know half these songs from my childhood. And then 5 seconds later, I'm listening to Pitbull, that's just who I am. I'm like sporadic like that. People laugh at me constantly for my playlists.
That's funny. And so you guys toured with Mitchell Tenpenny. What was that like?
Yeah, that was awesome. Mitchell is an awesome dude, and he was gracious enough to bring us out on the road a bunch of times. And, at first we were a little skeptical of if the crowd would work. And I think people might have a misunderstanding of Mitchell live, but they put on like a really, really, really good show. And it's a lot like more high energy and a lot heavier than you would actually think if you listen to the records. They're just produced so well, and it is very country. But live, I mean, those dudes are rock stars. So we played that first show with them, and we were like, our audiences are perfect together. So yeah, we learned a lot doing that, and hopefully we can do some more with him. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think I saw him over the summer open, I think for Luke Bryan, and he was really good, man. And the guy's got an incredible voice. It's really a gift.
Yeah, it's unreal.
And he likes the heavy stuff too. He likes the really hard rock and metal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's like what bonded us. I think the first time we met him, we wrote a song together, me, Jesse, and Mitchell, and who else was on that? That right?
Will Weatherly.
Yeah, Weatherly. Yeah. So yeah, we wrote a really good song together. It was awesome, and I think it just when you go in to write a song with anybody for the first time, it's never, you never just jump right into it. It's always kind of like, feel out that person and know what you can say and what you can't say. And you just kind of learn it. Do I vibe with these people or not? I hate to say the V word, but it's the truth though. It really is. So it was real quick to find out that Mitchell was definitely from the same background we were, and we just hit it off from that point on. And it was like 2 weeks later, he hit us up and was like, "Hey man, you guys want to come out and play some shows?" We're like, "Yep."
Yeah,
great.
That's awesome. Do you guys have any more touring plans coming up?
We don't have anything booked right now, but hoping to hit the road and after the new year and play a bunch of shows in 2023, because with Loser coming out and with Son of a, I mean, we've seen more growth in the past 6 months than we've seen in 3 years. So just from people hitting us up and people commenting and, engaging with our stuff, we know that there's some cities that these folks want us to come play. So we're definitely going to try and book some shows around the country for sure.
Got to get you guys to come down here to Atlanta, man.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Yeah, I love Atlanta.
Yeah, play the Masquerade.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only venue.
You guys
I've
know
ever
about the
played
Dirty
in.
Masquerade.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Played plenty of shows there.
You ever hear of the 7 venue?
7 venue. Why do I know that name?
Because it's terrible. It was like it wasn't in Atlanta. It was right outside of Atlanta. I want to say it like Douglasville or something like that.
Douglasville. Or maybe
It was like a little
okay.
ways away. Yeah, is it still up?
No, absolutely not.
It was an
like
old
a
movie theater,
It was
right?
like an old movie theater that was owned by a church, I think.
Yeah, I think there was a
And,
church or something involved with it.
Yeah.
They played some real heavy bands there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we played shows there and it was insane. But you'd go there one time and it'd be sold out. And then you'd go there one time and there'd be literally nobody there. And then you'd sleep upstairs and play pinball and eat pizza. And it was sick.
Yeah. Or barbecue. That was,
Yeah.
you almost had to eat barbecue there. Otherwise, burn in hell.
Yep.
You know, it was crazy.
Shout out to the 7 venue.
Yeah. 7 venue. We love y'all.
7 venue. I think my little brother used to go see some shows. Like, who do you see over there? I'm talking like, this is like 06, there were those real heavy bands back then.
Oh, yeah. That's when I was there.
The reason why I remember that is he had one of those old school GPSs. It was in my dad's 4Runner. And my dad came to me later because he thought I was driving. He goes, Mark, I just looked at this GPS. It shows a top speed of like 104. Have you gotten 104 in my car? I was like, no. He's like, might have been your brother. And we found out, sure enough, he hit 104 going over to Douglasville to hit up a show.
Yeah, man. The Tom will tell on you, dude.
Yeah, they get to the mosh pit. They'd got to get there quick.
To add to that, my drummer used to like yell at us for gas mileage because he would check the Tom. He'd be like, I could tell you were speeding last night and you're wasting all the gas. And I was like, dude, I was going 75 in a 75. He's like, only 65 with the trailer on. Yeah. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's what happens when you're poor. We're still poor.
So these next 3 questions are what we close with and ask everyone.
Cool.
So first question, what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Don't get married. And stop stripping all the paint off of all your guitars because they're going to be worth money one day.
Yeah. I'd probably say, hey man, don't worry, it's going to happen. That's it.
Good answers.
But by 21, it was already too late for me.
Yeah, we'd have to go back.
If it was like the 14-year-old Luke, I would be like, yeah, don't do that. Go get a real job.
Go to college.
Yeah, go to college for God's sake. Go with your next question. I could go on that all day.
Next question. What are you drinking lately? If you don't drink alcohol, it could be anything refreshing you like to drink.
Me and Luke watch a lot of true crime TV shows like The Blacklist, and they drink a lot of scotch, just neat. And every time we watch it, we go, man, I just really want to drink a glass of scotch. So we haven't done it yet, but that's what I want to drink. I want to drink some scotch, just neat, and just sit around and stare at a board with a bunch of red lines connecting a bunch of photos.
Yeah, I would say probably just Coke Zeros, just anything. I mean, dude, let's just be honest. Zeros are amazing.
Yeah.
They make every brand of every flavor, and it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, the Zero Sunkissed.
Oh,
Shout out to Sunkissed.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, I need to get some more of that. I've been doing the Diet Dr. Pepper here and there. I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Get
the
you have
Diet
the Zero?
Cherry.
Dude, that Zero Pepper, dude, that's a hefty pep.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
So as you know, this is Rock Down South. So what is something, or maybe a couple things that come to mind, that you love about the South?
Every time I've ever played a show in Georgia or Florida, it has been absolutely awesome. It's very rare that you play a bad show in the South. I think the people there just love to go to shows and just have a good time, whether it's a country show or whether it's a metal show or whatnot. Like every time I've ever been down there and played a show, it's been absolutely amazing. So whenever we book shows south of Tennessee, I get super stoked because I just know for a fact it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I would say, the hospitality thing, 100%. Before I was heavily tattooed, it was like no matter where we went or what I was doing around this whole country, like when I hit that that Bible Belt, man, it was like we could blow a tire, 3 people would stop, and we even had it handled, you know, and people would still stop and you know, make sure we're good and we're all right and all that. And but you know, once I got a little bit more tattooed, they kind of that chilled out a little bit now. But definitely the heart's still there, man. It's the folks in the South that make the South for me.
Those are good answers. Well, thank you so much, Jesse and Luke, for being a part of the show today. Where can people find to connect with you guys online?
Yeah, you can check us out at Lakeview Country on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff. We got new merch that's up at our store. You go to lakeviewofficial.com. When we post some shows, buy a ticket, come rock out with us.
Excellent. You got the new single out, Son of a, which everybody should check out. Anything else going on that people should know about?
Yeah, we got so much music getting ready to come out. We don't have any release dates as of right now that I'm willing to share, but we're going to be dropping a lot more music, a lot more frequently. So just if people don't follow us and they do like Son of A or they like any one of our other songs, just make sure you keep on following us and keep streaming that stuff, because there's a lot more new music coming to your catalog from Lakeview.
Thank you so much for listening to the show today. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I had a really great time chatting with Jesse and Luke. Those guys are really great songwriters and are bringing a sound to the table which is completely new and fresh. I can't wait to hear more music from these guys and definitely want to see them play live here in the future. So make sure to go follow Lakeview on all of their social media pages and give their latest single titled Son of a listen. It's available on all streaming platforms. You can find all our content at rockdownsouth.com and make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest updates. Leave us a 5-star review if you can. We would really appreciate it. And as always, the views and opinions expressed by our guests are theirs and don't necessarily reflect our own. I'm Mark, and you've been listening to Rock Down South. See y'all next time.